finish also, right? Maybe the cyclone has not created much problem, huh?
Not much, Prabhu, but yes, the water is stagnated there.
What
We have
you
go
said
knee deep in water.
will create a lot of disease, no? So you got to pump it out or something. You get
It's already come down. Last 2 days it's
typhoid,
come down.
yeah, you get typhoid, you get, dysentery and all this cholera, all this disease, because of the water. So you should try to get it out. Huh?
Yes, yes.
All this problem.
Effect of the cyclone was seen even here in Bangalore.
Hmm?
The effect of the cyclone was seen here in Bangalore.
The cyclone in Bangalore?
No, Prabhu, the effect of the cyclone. It was raining for the past 2 3 days in Bangalore, and it's very chilly out here.
No, you didn't reach Bangalore, right? Hmm?
No, Prabhu, I'm in Bangalore, so effect of the cyclone was seen even in Bangalore.
Rain only, no wind came, no?
Prabhu, it was quite breezy, and not much, not very strong winds, but there was some effect.
Yes, this is all because of sinful activities, So
Yes,
you get
Prabhu.
kinds of problem, no? Adhyatmic, adibhautik, and adidevic, no?
Adidevi.
So the demigods, they also create problems. When they see the living entity is not taking up the Krishna conscious program, then they are duty bound to give all kind of hardship, Yes, the people are sinful, so the Lord sends in this kind of calamities. So
This
we,
happens almost
uh,
every year.
what?
The cyclone happens almost every year in different parts of the coast.
Yeah, Pondicherry, there are so many alcoholics, no? Whole
Yes,
India,
Prabhu.
they know that Pondicherry is their bar. You go there to drink, right?
Yes.
Alcohol
So,
is cheap, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah.
once there was such a cyclone in Kerala also. Kerala also, it was much more severe in Kerala.
Cyclone in Kerala.
Yes, Prabhu, I mean, yeah, 2 3 years before, there was a severe cyclone in
They have
Kerala.
a lot of cows, no? Kerala.
Yes, Prabhu, cow slaughter, too much.
They are very addicted to cow flesh, no? We see how when a person is sinful, then all these kind of calamities will always appear. Hmm? So we should try to change the situation by becoming Krishna conscious. Hmm? That's the only way that all these things can stop if we make everybody Krishna conscious. Hmm?
The other day, I was watching a video on Facebook. Like they were praising the ISRO and all these space organizations because they give details as to when the cyclone comes so that they can evacuate people and all that. But they don't realize that there is a cure for this. Like they're feeling happy that people's lives, I mean, the so-called thing, they're saving so-called lives, but even the concept behind why the cyclone is coming also, people do not get it.
No, because they are like animals, they don't know. Just like, the story of the Brahmin, he had the child and the child died, correct? And he
Yes,
went to the Krishna's palace and he put the dead body of the child and he started saying that all this, because the king is sinful, Ugrasena, he did all nonsense, that's why my child is dying. Yeah? You see how the whole thing, they blame the king. Hmm? That is going to the unrighteousness of the ruler. And of course, the citizens also play a part. If they are sinful, then all this kind of calamities will always keep coming. I remember in the year, I don't know which year was that, after Christmas Day, I think, I was just on Christmas Day or some, I think just one day after, the 26th of, I don't know what year, there was a big tidal wave, no? There's so many people died, correct? Sri Lanka, Tamil Nadu, all got affected, no? Correct? You remember the tidal wave that came, that tsunami,
2004.
2004.
2004, correct?
Mhm.
Yes? So many, 250,000 people died. So time to time, the Lord, sends this kind of a disturbance because He wants to purify the conditioned soul. The cyclone coming, it's actually meant for purification, but of course, someone is a devotee, then it doesn't happen, no?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yoga Maya is absent in Vaikuntha and other planets. How to understand this? Thought Yoga Maya is there in all of the spiritual planets. Yoga Maya is not absent in the spiritual planet. Let's go to verse 21,104.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavad Pranam, Mr. Prabhupada.
Yeah.
Prabhu, kindly excuse me. I'll be in the. I won't be visible in the video. I'm cooking for the deities. I'll be cooking and listening to your class, Prabhu. I'm sorry for that.
Yoga Maya explanation, right? Where was that I sent you? Remember? Harival Prahlad is there.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. The yoga. Yeah. The yoga Maya.
I sent you a
Yes.
word.
Yes. I'll search, Prabhu. I'll search.
Send it to me. What was it? 21 what?
104, 104.
10 21 104. The wonderful form of Krishna and his personal feature is so great that he attracts even Krishna to taste his own association. Indeed, Krishna becomes very eager to taste it. Total beauty, knowledge, wealth, strength, fame, and renunciation are six opulence of Krishna. He is eternally situated in his opulence. Support.
I think the second paragraph of the purport, Prabhu, just come down.
Second paragraph. Huh?
Yeah, I think further down, Prabhu.
Further down.
Further down. There, I think just about that. Actually, the activities, just go up a little bit. 1 minute. Actually, the activities of Yoga Maya. Just go up a little bit, Prabhu. Yeah, that it. Actually, the activities of yoga.
So here, the explanation here is that actually the activities of Yogamaya are absent in the spiritual sky and the Vaikuntha planet. She works it. She simply works in the supreme planet Goloka Vrindavan, and she works to manifest the activities of Krishna when it descends to material and to please his numeral material world. In other words, you see, there's a contradictory statement. Actually, the activity are absent in the spiritual sky and Vaikuntha planet, but she simply works in the supreme planet. How can she work there when she's absent? You understand? In other words, she's not absent, she's present. But the whole idea why this says is absent is because it is not like Maya acting on the like here, we have Mahamaya acting on us and giving us a lot of headache, no? You understand? So that's why Prabhupada actually the activity are absent in Suska in that sense. So she simply works in the supreme planet and she worked to manifest the activities of Krishna when she descend the material to please his innumerable duties within the material world. In other words, she acts like not like an energy that's giving headache to the devotees, but more like pleasing the devotees. In that sense, it's absent because it is all joy. See, when we speak of Maya, we speak of Maya giving headaches, no? You follow?
Right, right, Prabhu.
In that sense. But so she cannot be absent. How can she be absent? But the whole idea to enhance the loving devotional service with the devotees and Krishna. See, that is what Yoga Maya is. She makes the devotees get what intense in their serving of loving of Krishna. See, but Maya itself, she is always trying to, like here, making difficulties for the devotees, no? Right? That's Mahamaya.
Right,
See, but Yoga Maya works on a different principle. That's why she's absent. It's not like very conspicuous, no. Present, you understand? Because it's all love for Krishna, so they hardly you see her as present, you see? She's enhancing the loving propensity. She's making arrangement for all the necessary things to, get it, the gopis and Krishna to get together and, do their pastimes. See, that's why it's explained. Because she's working in that sense to manifest the activities of Krishna when it descends to material to please his innumerable devotees within the material world. That's the whole idea. This is replica of the Goluka Vrindavan. In other words, she does the same thing here when Krishna comes. So spiritually, of course, she's never absent. But because she's doing this pleasant service, she's almost like absent. Things seems to be like working automatically. You follow?
got it, Prabhu. So, which means some form of Maya will always be present, right? Irrespective of whether it's the material world, the spiritual world, either Yogamaya or Mahamaya will alternatively be present.
Is that Mahamaya must here make you forget Krishna. Yoga Maya also makes you forget Krishna as the supreme God, no? Because if you understand him as God, then you cannot do his, you cannot, you, there won't be any reciprocation, you know? You follow?
Sorry, bro.
I think I quoted one verse to Prahlad about Maya, you know. I have to find that verse again. I don't know, I saved it. Let me see, yeah, because it gives an explanation of what this Maya is all about. It is explained in that purport, you know, how Prabhupada is speaking about both Mahamaya and Maya, you know. Maya has got two potencies. One is to cover and there is to throw.
Prabhu, is it actually, is it the one that you may send me about difference between Yogamaya and Mahamaya? That one?
Yeah, yeah.
That
Where is
is
that?
from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, first chapter, 69th verse. Purport. 10.169.
Let me go to that again. Please give me 1 second. Huh? 10,
169.
69.
Yes, Prabhu, 69, yeah. 10.169. The
10.
purport. The word kayarte start like that. Can someone read? You know? Someone help to read that. It starts with the word karyarte, refers to the one. It start like that. Ten one 69, Prabhu.
10, 1.
69. 69.
This is 10, 1. What? Additional note.
Yeah. 69th was. Oh, it's okay. It's your notes. Okay.
Okay, here. Can you read this one? Huh?
Which one,
I
Prabhu?
read it, Prabhu.
Maya Manusyasya.
Maya Manushyasya. Because of being covered by Yoga Maya, Naham Prakash Sarvasya Yoga Maya Samavritaha. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, verse 25. Krishna is sometimes called Maya Manushya, indicating that although he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he appears like an ordinary person. A misunderstanding arises because Yoga Maya covers the vision of the general public. The Lord's position is actually different from that of an ordinary person. For although he appears to act like an ordinary man, he is always transcendental. The word Maya also indicates mercy, and sometimes it also means knowledge. The Lord is always full of all transcendental knowledge, and therefore, although he acts like a human being, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, full of knowledge. In his original identity, The Lord is the controller of Maya. Maya Dhyakshena Prakriti Suyate Sa Characharam. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9. Hmm. Suyate Sa Characharam. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verse number 10. Therefore, the Lord may Therefore, the Lord may be called Maya Manushya, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, playing like an ordinary human being, although He is the controller of both the material and spiritual energies. The Lord is the Supreme Person, Purushottama, but because we are deluded by Yogamaya, He appears to be an ordinary person. Ultimately, however, Yogamaya induces even a non-devotee to understand the Lord as the Supreme Person, Purushottama. In the Bhagavad Gita, we find two statements given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For the devotees, the Lord says, Tesham sadata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhiyogam tam yena mam upayanti te. To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. Bhagavad Gita chapter 10 verse number 10. Thus for the willing devotee, the Lord gives intelligence by which to understand him and return home back to Godhead. For others, for non-devotees, the Lord says, Mrityu sarva haraschaham. Bhagavad Gita chapter 10 verse number 34. I am all plundering, inevitable death. A devotee like Prahlad enjoys the activities of Lord Nrsimhadeva, whereas non-devotees like Prahlad's father Hiranyakashipu meet death before Lord Nrsimhadeva. The Lord therefore acts in two ways, by sending some onto the path of repeated birth and death, and sending others back home back to Godhead. The word Kala means black, indicates the color of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Lord Krishna and Lord Ramachandra, who both look blackish, give liberation and transcendental bliss to their devotees. Among persons possessing material bodies, sometimes no one is able to subject to death through his own will. For such a person, death is almost impossible because no one wants to die. But although Bhishma Deva possessed this power, Bhishma, by the supreme will of the Lord, died very easily in the Lord's presence.
Translation. Sorry. Yes.
Distinction between the two Mayas, Yoga Maya and Maha Maya, is described as follows. Krishna's Rasalila with the gopis and the gopis' bewilderment in respect to their husbands, father-in-law, and other such relatives were arrangements of Yoga Maya in which Mahamaya had no influence. The Bhagavatam gives sufficient evidence of this when it clearly says, Yoga Mayam Upashritaha. On the other hand, there were asuras headed by Shalva and Kshatriyas like Duryodhana who were bereft of devotional service in spite of seeing Krishna's carrier Garuda in the universal form, and who could not understand Krishna to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This was also bewilderment, but this bewilderment was due to Mahamaya. Therefore, it has to be concluded that the Maya which drags a person from the Supreme Personality of Godhead is called the Jada Maya, while the Maya which acts on the transcendental platform is called Yoga Maya. When Nanda Maharaj was taken away by Varuna, he saw Krishna's opulence, but nonetheless he thought of Krishna as his son. Such feelings of parental love in the spiritual world are acts of Yoga Maya, not of Jada Maya or Mahamaya. This is the opinion of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur.
So that explains the difference between the two Mayas, no? Yes.
Yes,
Right.
yes, Prabhu.
So we have to understand that devotees, when they take up the devotional process, that's why I said, Mahatmanas tu mampartha devim prakritim asrita, The devotees are working on the Yoga Maya principle, right? So Krishna uses, either one to manipulate, For example, when Yashoda saw the whole universe in his mouth, right? She became baffled, Who is this boy, I'm thinking he's my son, and then just to get the parental love going again, he covered her, right? So she hugged
Right.
him, oh my, she forgot, See, one moment he reminded her, one moment he covered her. See? So in other words, the living entity is tiny living entity. To enhance the love between the living entity and Krishna, Krishna employs these two mayas. To forget, to make the living entity forget him so he can enjoy the maya, so he has Mahamaya. But to enhance the loving relationship with him, and then he employs his Yoga Maya. You see? Krishna manipulates this Maya according to his, desire. As you surrender unto me, I reward accordingly. Correct? You know the Bhagavad Gita? Yes? Ye yata mam prapadyante.
Yes, Prabhu.
For what? 9 is it? Or 11?
411.
So you can see here, ye yata mam prapadyante tam stateva bhajamyam mamamatmanu vartante manushya partha sarvasha. As all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respect, O son of Pita. So everyone follows my path in all respect. Tell me, you cannot be outside Krishna. That's not possible, you know. Understand? The living entity is always under the control of the Lord. And this is how he controls. Hmm? The thing is, this verse. Let me check. It is the verse.
No, Prabhu, whatever you have sent me, I put it in the message, Prabhu. If you want, you can use it.
No,
The
let
message.
me. No, I got this wrong number here. 19, you know.
Okay. So it's not fully pasted.
Send it to them if they have not got it. I think, give me a minute. Let me find out this verse that's very important in making this point. It's in the CC, in Madhya 19. And here in this verse, you can see this is actually from the 11th canto. (143). So here in this verse, this is actually from the 11th canto. You want to read this? Sorry,
Yes,
10th.
Prabhu. I read it,
O
Prabhu.
Lord, although the living entities who have accepted material bodies are spiritual and unlimited in number, if they were all pervading three, there would be no question of their being under your control. If they are accepted, however, as particles of the eternally existing spiritual entity, as part of you, who are the supreme spirit whole, we must conclude that they are always under your control. If the living entities are simply satisfied with with being identical with you as spiritual particles, there they will be happy being controllers of so many things. The conclusion that the living entities and the Supreme Personality of Godhead are one and the same in is a faulty conclusion. It is not a fact.
You understand? The living entity is understood as the tiny spark, part and parcel of the Lord. It's always under the control of the Lord, because the Lord is the whole. You follow? And if
Prabhu.
he understands this position, then he's happy. Then Krishna engages him with Yoga Maya. But when he tries to be, separate from the Lord, then that is called contaminated consciousness. Then Maya takes over. See, that's explained here in this verse. Can you read?
Due to this external energy, the living entity, although transcendental to the three modes of material nature, thinks of himself as a material product and thus undergoes the reactions of material miseries.
The moment this is how Maya works, no? And you see how this is explained by Vyasadeva. See this point? Thus he fixed his mind, perfectly engaging it by linking it in devotional service, Bhakti Yoga, without any thing of materialism. And thus he saw the absolute personality of Godhead along with his external energy, which is under full control. You understand? So he saw the Lord and he saw Maya at the back, and fully under the control. That means the Lord he has got many energies. Parasya Shakti Vividai Vyasuryate, he has got many energies, no? I think in the South Indian temple they have the energies of the Lord, no? Devi, correct? Is it not?
Right.
I think in the Ramanujas they have, no? Correct?
Yes.
So all these are different. There are 16 of them. They are energies of the Lord, So the Lord engages all these energies to facilitate his pastimes, either in the material world or to cover the living entity, like in this case, he uses external energy to cover the living entity. So Vyasadeva could see, because the moment there's a difference. When you are a pure devotee, then you can see. But you're not a pure devotee, then Krishna says, he covers the consciousness, no? Naham prakasha sarvasya yogamaya samamrita. See that verse? 7:25. Yeah. He said, Naham prakasha sarva yogamaya samamrita. You see this? Huh?
Right.
By internal potency, you see? You want to read this?
I am never manifest to the foolish and intelligent. For them, I am covered by my internal potency, and therefore they do not know that I am unborn and inexhaustible.
Purport.
If we argued that since Krishna was visible to everyone when he was present on this earth, how can it be said that he is not manifest to everyone? But actually, he was not manifest to everyone. When Krishna was present, only a few people who could understand him to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The assembly of Kurus, when Shishupala spoke against Krishna's being elected president of the assembly, Bhishma supported him and proclaimed him to be the Supreme God. Similarly, the Pandavas and a few others knew that he was the Supreme, but not everyone. He was not revealed to the non-devotees and the common man. Therefore, the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that but for his pure devotees, all men consider him to be like themselves. He was manifest only to his devotees as a reservoir of all pressure. But to others, unintelligent non-devotees, he was covered by his internal strength. In the prayers of Kunti, the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that the Lord is covered by a curtain of Yogamaya, and thus ordinary people cannot understand him. This Yogamaya curtain is also confirmed in the Isha Upanishad Mantra 15, in which the devotee prays, Hiranmayena Patrena Satyasa Vihitamukam Tattvam Pusham Apavrano Satyadharmaya Drishyate. O my Lord, you are the maintainer of the entire universe. Devotional service to you is the highest religious principle. Therefore, I pray that you will also maintain me. Your transcendental form is covered with Yogamaya. The Brahmajyoti is the covering of the internal potency. May you kindly remove the glowing effulgence that impedes my seeing as Satchidananda Vigraha, the eternal form of bliss and knowledge. The Supreme Personality of Godhead in its transcendental form of bliss and knowledge is covered with the internal potency of the Brahmajyoti, and the less intelligent impersonal cannot see the Supreme on the account. Also in the Srimad Bhagavatam, there is this way by Brahma, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, O Super Soul, Master of all mystery, who can calculate your potency in past tense of this world? You are always expanding your internal potential, and therefore, no one can understand you. Learned scientists and learned scholars can examine the atomic constitution of the material world or even the planet, but still they are unable to calculate your energy and potency, although you are present before them. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, is not only unborn, but also avyaya, inexhaustible. His eternal form is bliss and knowledge, and his energies are all inexhaustible.
I think this explains the whole thing. Yes?
Now, one follow-up, yes, Prabhu, one follow-up question. So when we say Yogamaya, does Yogamaya always does it act in a way where the supremacy of the Lord is not known, or through the influence of Yogamaya, one can also appreciate the Lord being the supreme?
You see, this is how Krishna manipulates, no? You see, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says this, no? In this verse, Sarvashucha Mirdi Sanvisto Mata Smriti Jnanam Apohanam Cha, correct?
Right.
So if you want to remember Krishna, Krishna will help you, correct?
Right.
If you want to forget him, he will also have to help you.
Correct.
You follow? Yeah?
Right. But Prabhu, if I know Krishna is the supreme, and I render service to him in that mood, why does that come under the influence of Yoga Maya? Because Maya by definition means that which is not, right, Prabhu? So in this kind of attitude of devotion where I know the Lord to be the supreme, that also comes in the definition of Yoga Maya. Why is it called Yoga Maya then, Prabhu? Because Maya means that which is not, right? In this case, I know position of the Lord.
Gopāl explained like an electrical engineer. He uses electricity, he puts in the air conditioner, he acts in a cold way, correct? And he puts into a heater, he becomes hot, right?
Right.
Same electrical energy, but it is functioning two different ways, correct?
Right.
Manipulation of the electrician, correct?
Right.
Same way, Krishna, he manipulates this energy either into Mahamaya or to Yogamaya, to make you remember or to make you forget. So to make you remember, he enhances that spirit, You follow? And you want to make it forget, then he also help you. You understand this point? So it is all under the manipulating of the Lord, If you want to forget him, then he will make you forget. But the moment you want to remember him, then he helps you in many ways. That is his power, see? Either way, the devotees are always under his control. There's no way that they are, what do we say? They cannot be escaping this illusion, Either he is in illusion or he is in remembrance. That is how the Lord is manipulating,
Right. But why is that? So my question is, Prabhu, why is that remembrance also called Yoga Maya? Is that Maya actually? It is not Maya technically, right, Prabhu? But because it is energy, is it called Maya or?
It is a Maya, but the function of Yoga Maya is to enhance your relationship with Krishna. Whereas Mahamaya is to make you forget Krishna, go further into illusion, So that which enhances bringing you closer to Krishna. You can't call it Mahamaya, because it technically not. It is called yoga because he yokes, links you. Yoga means linking, no?
Right.
Correct?
Right.
So different word,
Got it.
Trying to get this verse. See, all right, here I got it. You see this verse? And this verse, can you read this?
When this human body is used for a devotional service, it acts as oneself, friend and beloved. But unfortunately, although you always show mercy to the conditioned souls and affectionately help them in every way, and although you're their true self, people in general fail to delight in you. Instead, they commit spiritual suicide by worshipping illusion. Alas, because they persistently hope for success in devotion to the unreal, they continue to wander about this greatly fearful world, assuming various degraded bodies.
So that's point. So the Lord is always willing to help, You follow? That
Right.
is it. Yoga Maya principle. But because he wants to go into illusion, so he has to employ the Mahamaya, right?
Right.
Because famous verse, Tesham Satata Yuktanam Bhajantam Pratipurvakam Tadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Yenamamupayantite. I'm sitting in the heart, I give the intelligence in which they can come to me. Right? Provided the living entity wants to come. That desire has to be there. The man proposed, God disposed, no? Correct?
Right.
So the living
Right.
entity, independence is given there. If you want to go either way, it's the choice. That's why Krishna told Arjuna, no, if you don't want to listen to me, you want to act in your own false ego, you will be finished. What is the finish means? That he has to cover you by Mamaya, correct?
Right.
You understand? So either way you say you will act. Krishna told him that, You
Right.
follow? You cannot try to act outside the purview of Krishna. In one sense, having independence it is not the right word because you're not independent at all. You're always dependent on the Lord. Right? Either this side or that side, You follow. Of course, intelligent person will work in the, just like now you in your country, you want to work with the law, no? You don't want to break the law, no? Right? See, the government's law is there. If you break it, you have to suffer a different kind of setup. And if you work with them, you have different kind of facility. But either way, you are under the control of the government. You cannot say I'm out of the government. Can you say that? You cannot say I'm outlawed. Can? Not possible. Correct?
Right.
So that is how an example is given. So we better become devotee. That's why Yamunaja Acharya is praying, no, I want to be, always under your shelter. Correct? That verse is there, no? Yamunaja Acharya. I'll take the verse out for you. Bhavantam, you know that verse? Yamunaja Acharya is Bhavantam. Let me take it out for you. Huh? Give me a minute. What is this? Yamunaja Acharya. Oh, 416. I don't know where it is. I will take it out for you. Huh? Let me do a search and see where I'll
Will you say
find it.
Yadavadi Mama Chetasa Krishna Padhara? That was
Bhavantam,
Yadavadi.
Bhavantam eva,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
word.
Yadavadi Mama Chesita Krishna Padhara Vinte.
No, no,
Namanava Rasan. That
no,
was?
not that word. That one is different.
Okay.
I'm taking out for you now. Huh? Give me a minute. Bhavantam eva nuchara madhya. All right. Here in this verse, you can see. mm, 20. Say this verse here. Bhavan Neva Karan Haraha Prashantani Manorat Aham Nata, another word. Chanata, not Anata. What is it? See this verse? Is serving you constantly, one is free from all. So in other words, he wants to only be servant. Nitya Kinkaraha. He's so happy to have Anata, not Anata. No master, no? Thing, problem. Can you read, please? Someone want to read?
In his teachings to Sanatana Goswami, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has declared every it is the constitutional fulfilling of all the things. Just like the dog or servant must have and become perfect masters of challenge and also come and sought so that the living will be satisfied with complete. That's why most of the competent master to save him from all costs, unless the comes to the is full of anxiety. The life of anxiety or material to be completely satisfied and void of come
Voice is
this
breaking.
is also from the Stodra Amma Acharya.
So you try to understand, the devotee, they want to be in this position, to be always be in Yogamaya. Whereas the non-devotees, they always want to be in Mahamaya, illusion. That's all. You take up Krishna's service, then Krishna is always willing to help. It's very kind. Even a little service also, he takes it as a big thing. That's why he said, you offer me even a leaf, flower, water, I accept with love, no? Yes? So that's
Right, Prabhu.
Krishna's education, he wants the living entity back, he wants us to love him, See? So he will try everything to get us back. Of course, if you really want to enjoy material world, then he also have to make all facility for you to forget him. That's the choice. But it's not like a cruel person trying to, because he does say also that he's, for those people who are envious and mischievous, I cast them to lower and lower species where they stay there perpetually. And that is also his compassion, but, that is a different kind of compassion. Right?
So, Prabhu, that verse, Prabhu, that Krishna is uh, punishing us for. Yesterday night also you show that verse. Some 29, 39 it was.
Oh, that verse. That verse is here. Read it, please.
No one is dear to Supreme Personality of Godhead, nor is anyone his enemy or friend. But he gives inspiration to those who have not forgotten him and destroys those who have.
Support.
Forgetfulness of one's relationship with Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the cause of one's repeated birth and death. A living entity is as eternal as the Supreme Lord, but due to his forgetfulness, he is put into this material nature and transmigrates from one body to another. And when the body is destroyed, he thinks that he is also destroyed. Actually, this forgetfulness of his relationship with Lord Vishnu is the cause of his destruction. Anyone who revives his consciousness that the original relationship receives that the original relationship receives inspiration from the Lord. This does not mean that the Lord is someone's enemy and someone else's friend. He helps everyone. One way is not bewildered by the influence of material energy is saved, and one who is bewildered is destroyed. It is said, therefore, Harin Vinana Mritin Taranti. No one can be saved from the repetition of birth and death without the help of Supreme Lord. It is therefore the duty of all living entities to take shelter of the lotus feet of Vishnu and thus save themselves from the cycle of birth and death.
So see, that's difference, no?
Yes, Prabhu.
Those who are surrendered, then he Brahma. That's why he says, Sarva Dharma Parityaja Mamekam Sarnamajana. And from Sarve Pavebhyo Mokhyasti Masucha. So that's from the Yoga Maya principle, you know. And for those people who are envious and mischievous, I cast them to lower and lower species. I destroy them. That is the Mahamaya principle.
Prabhu, can we also explain this Yogamaya and Mahamaya in the same in this verse also, na Prabhu?
What?
But those who are remembering, I'll help them with Yogamaya, and those who are, I will curse them with Mahamaya's
Yeah.
covering.
Those who remember, you cannot remember. He said in the Bhagavad Gita, no, I'll make you remember. I'll make you forget. Correct?
Yes. Even that is also given by him.
Not that you remember. No, your desire is to enjoy. Then he'll make you forget. Correct?
Yes.
Your desire is to serve. Then he'll make you remember. Understand? For the devotee, he's always helping. Even if the devotee forgets, he will try to make him remember. That's the position of the Lord's mercy on the devotee. Yes,
Yes, Prabhu.
you want to enjoy, you must forget teamwork, correct? You cannot try to enjoy. That's why the demons, they are enjoying more than the demigods, Because the demigods cannot enjoy fully because there's a sense of surrendering, no?
Yes, Prabhu.
Whereas the demon, they don't believe in any authority, So the senses, they enjoy more wildly,
But that will again put them into further and further
Yeah,
complication.
when you go in Maya, you go into big trouble, no? All right, any other question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Um, what's your question?
Prabhu, actually, I have a question, Prabhu. I mean, what,
What?
What is meant by Sanmohana Krishna? I will show what is it, and I will share the screen.
Voice keeps disappearing away. Why are you speak with the mic la inside? What's wrong with your mic? Any problem?
Prabhu, I have one question in my if I can tell.
Translate for me.
No, I have one question, Prabhu.
No, what is he saying? This Bhakta Ayappa, what is he saying?
I also could not hear, Prabhu.
Or maybe he wrote la. Let me find out what he wrote. Oh, yes, the one. Oh, this is the last one. What is meant by Sammohana Krishna? Sammohana means you see there's two relationship with Krishna, no? Vipralamba and Sammohana, no? Yes? Sammohana means you're joining with him, and Vipralamba means separation. It is a combination of Krishna and Radharani. It is more like you are meeting Krishna, it's called Sammohanam. And when you're separating from Krishna, it's called Vipralamba. So of course, Radha and Krishna, they are together, it's called Sammohana Krishna. That's in terms of relationship between he and Krishna, Radharani and Krishna. There's a Madana Mohan, that is the understanding. Is it clear? Okay, what's your question?
Prabhu, for the atheist, like if they, when they don't believe in God, so for example, like after everyone has to go back to Godhead, like after maybe billion, trillion, or trillions of years. But if Mahamaya keeps on acting on those people, they will be ever forgetful of Krishna. Then how they will be attaining to Godhead?
Okay, very good question. To answer this question, we'll have to go here. And this question is answered here in this verse. Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, I think it's 26. Give me a minute, let me find out. There's a question by Devahuti, the same question you're asking. It is in this chapter, I think. Let me check. I think it is in she's asking this question, does Maya, is always covering the living entity. Does the Maya gives any relief to the, So I'm trying to find that thing. Give me a minute. I don't know, it's in the 27 maybe. Yeah, it's here. So in this verse, Devahuti is asking this question just like you are asking. My dear Brahmana, does material nature ever give release to the spirit soul? Since one is attracted to other eternally, how is their separation possible? Is that not correct, your question?
Yes, Prabhu.
Huh?
Yes, Prabhu.
So you read the purport, please.
Devahuti, the mother of Kapila Deva, here makes her first inquiry. Although one may understand that spirit, soul, and matter are different, their actual separation is not possible, either by philosophical speculation or by proper understanding. The spirit soul is the marginal potency of the Supreme Lord, and the matter is the external potency of the Lord. The two eternal potencies have somehow or other been combined, and since it is so difficult to separate one from the other, how is it possible for the individual soul to become liberated? By practical experience, one can see that when the soul is separated from the body has no real existence. And when the body is separated from the soul, one cannot perceive the existence of the soul. As long as the soul and the body are combined, we can understand that there is life. But when they are separated, there is no manifested existence of the body or the soul. This question asked by devotee of Kapila Deva is more or less impelled by the philosophy of voidism. The voidists say that the consciousness is a product of a combination of matter, and that as soon as the consciousness is gone, the material combination dissolves, and therefore there is ultimately nothing but voidness. This absence of consciousness is called nirvana in Mayavada philosophy.
Okay, so this is the question, right? Did they ever give release or not? Correct?
Yes, bro.
So the answer is here. Is Kapila is answering. So he's explaining here. Want to read that?
Yeah. The Supreme Personal Godhead said, one can get liberation by seriously discharging devotional service unto me and thereby hearing for a long time about me from me. By thus executing one's prescribed duties, there will be no reaction and one will be freed from the contamination of matter.
So he's explaining how to come out. So the process is by seriously executing devotional
Service.
service. Yeah. Okay, can you read the purport?
Sridhara Swami comments in this connection that by association with material nature alone, one does not become conditioned. Conditional life begins only after one is infected by the modes of material nature. If someone is in contact with the police department, that does not mean that he is a criminal. As long as one does not commit criminal acts, even though there is a police department, he is not punished. Similarly, the liberated soul is not affected, although he is in the material nature. Even the Supreme Personal Godhead is supposed to be in association with the material nature when he descends, but he is not affected. One has to act in such a way that in spite of being in the material nature, he is not affected by contamination. Although the lotus flower is in association with water, it does not mix with the water. This is how one has to live, as described here by the personality of Godhead Kapil Deva. Animitta nimittena swadharma dharmena malatmana. One can be liberated from all adverse circumstances simply by seriously engaging in devotional service. How this devotional service develops and becomes mature is explained here. In the beginning, one has to perform his prescribed duties with a clean mind. Clean consciousness means Krishna consciousness. One has to perform his prescribed duties in Krishna consciousness. There is no necessity of changing one's prescribed duties. One simply has to act in Krishna consciousness. In discharging Krishna conscious duties, one should determine whether by his professional or occupational duties, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is satisfied. In another place in the Bhagavatam, it is said, Swanusthitasya dharmasya samsiddhir haritosanam. Srimad Bhagavatam 1 to 13. Everyone has some prescribed duties to perform, but the perfection of such duties will be reached only if the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, is satisfied by such actions. For example, Arjuna's prescribed duty was to fight, and the perfection of his fighting was tested by the satisfaction of Krishna. Krishna wanted him to fight, and when he fought for the satisfaction of the Lord, that was the perfection of his professional devotional duty. On the other hand, when contrary to the wish of Krishna, he was not willing to fight, that was imperfect. If one wants to perfect his life, he should discharge his prescribed duties for the satisfaction of Krishna. One must act in Krishna consciousness, for such action will never produce any reaction. Animitta nimittena. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Yajñārthat karmano nyartha natra. All activities should be performed simply by yajna or the satisfaction of Vishnu. Anything done otherwise without the satisfaction of Vishnu or yajna produces bondage. So here it is also prescribed by Kapila Muni that one can transcend material engagement by acting in Krishna consciousness, which means seriously engaging in devotional service. This serious devotional service can develop by hearing for long periods of time. Chanting and hearing is the beginning of the process of devotional service. One should associate with devotees and hear from them about the Lord's transcendental appearance, activities, disappearance, instructions, etc. There are two kinds of Shruti or scripture. One is spoken by the Lord, and the other is spoken about the Lord and his devotees. Bhagavad Gita is the former, and Srimad Bhagavatam is the latter. One must hear these scriptures repeatedly from reliable sources in order to become fixed in the serious devotional service. Through engagement in such devotional service, one becomes freed from the contamination of Maya. It is stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam that hearing about the Supreme Personality of Godhead cleanses the heart of all contamination caused by the influence of the three modes of material nature. By continuous regular hearing, the effects of the contamination of lust and greed to destroy, to enjoy, or lord it over material nature diminish. And when lust and greed diminish, one becomes situated in the mode of goodness. This is the state of Brahman realization or spiritual realization. In this way, one becomes fixed on the transcendental platform. Remaining fixed on the transcendental platform is liberation from material engagement, entanglement. The devotional service has to be performed strongly in perfect knowledge and with transcendental vision. One must be strongly renounced and must engage in austerity and perform mystic yoga in order to be fixed, firmly fixed in self absorption. Devotional service in Krishna consciousness cannot be performed blindly due to material emotion or mental concussion. It is specifically mentioned here that one has to perform devotional service in full knowledge by visualizing the absolute truth. We can understand about the absolute truth by evolving transcendental knowledge, and the result of such transcendental knowledge will be manifested by renunciation. The renunciation is not temporary or artificial, but it is very strong. It is said that development of Krishna consciousness is exhibited by proportionate material detachment or vairagya. If one does not separate himself from material enjoyment, it is to be understood that he is not advancing in Krishna consciousness. Renunciation in Krishna consciousness is so strong that it cannot be deviated by any attractive illusion. One has to perform devotional service in full tapasya austerity. One should fast on the two Ekadashi days, which fall on the 11th day of the waxing and waning moon, and on the birthdays of Lord Krishna, Lord Rama, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There are many such fasting days. Yogena means by controlling the senses and mind. Yoga Indriya Samyamaha. Yogena implies that one is seriously absorbed in the self and is able, by development of knowledge, to understand his constitutional position in relationship with the super self. In this way, one becomes fixed in devotional service, and his faith cannot be shaken by any material allurement. Yes,
So
Prabhu.
you understand?
Yes, Prabhu. So he need to start with the hearing, then he because one who is almost attached to the material enjoyment, so he should start his devotional service by hearing about Krishna, right?
Hearing and chanting.
Chanting, hearing, Shravanam Kirtan.
Hmm? This is the process. But seriously discharging, that is the main thing, no?
Yeah, yeah, yes, bro.
Not that you do today, you don't do, and
Mm,
then you don't take
yes,
it easy. You become lazy. then you will not work also. So you have to be very strongly, you see, even in the next verse it says, uh, one must be, but by the process of seriously discharging devotional service, the influence is removed. Understand?
Yes. Seriously.
So we have to become, that's why unless one is in the Bhagavad Gita, it is explained, in this verse. Right? This verse, in this verse, abhyacharenena, without fail,
Charana.
correct?
Yes,
So
Prabhu.
one must very serious, What is this? One who engage in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances. You know this word?
Unfailing. Yeah.
That means you fixed up, no? Correct? That's why we have to do our sadhana bhakti. Wake up in the morning, push ourselves, mangalarti, all. Why? Because the order of the Guru, no?
Yes.
The moment we follow this order of the Guru so that we become fixed up, no? Nistha, fixed. Then we develop the taste, we develop the attachment, and we get bhava, and then finally we get love for God. But it cannot be done if we are not like, sahajya, taking it cheap and easy, You follow? Then Maya will never leave you. It's like Kunti Devi is saying, no, when will Maya ever leave, No, you will never leave. Unless you show we are very serious. Yes?
Okay, Prabhu. Yeah, in if one is not serious, then Mahamaya acts or so Yogamaya will help. Which one, Prabhu?
You will fall down,
Fall down. So it will be Mahamaya due to the influence of Mahamaya.
Correct. Mahamaya makes him fall down, no?
Fall down. Okay.
Mahamaya got two action, no? One is to cover him and then to throw him,
Then
Right?
Yogamaya will never help to make him remember, or it will be only Mahamaya he will be under.
In case Yogamaya helped him, no? Yes, he was fallen.
Yes, sir.
So he made him have a son. In this way, he had the son named as Narayan. Correct?
Yes, sir.
To deliver that mercy, no? Whether you want to get the mercy or not, that depends on Krishna, no?
Yes, sir.
I don't think we should try this Ajamil act, no? It's dangerous. You want to become Ajamil?
No, no, in case.
So not take that chance.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I better become serious. That's why the word seriously discharging devotion is correct.
Yes, sir. But Ajamal was initially he was very serious. That's why it was helped by Krishna.
Yeah, but
He was very serious. Yeah.
Krishna said, now you take another few more births like Jada Bharat, then how? Yeah? Correct. Bharat Maharaj was his son also, correct? 3 lifetime he had to take, no?
Yes, sir.
But he is lucky. And what about us? You go to heavenly planet, enjoy, and then come back again after so many years. Correct? By then Kali Yuga would have progressed. Correct?
Yes.
Already is bad enough already, yes? You want to try? I don't think it is possible. So better be serious.
Yes,
Be
sir.
serious to follow the instruction of Prabhupada. Correct?
Yes.
Yes? Whatever you say you do, then definitely guarantee following chanting 16 round and following the 4 principles, and for sure you will go back. That is the Prabhupada's assurance. Right? Yeah, I just quoted this verse in this class. I don't know if anyone watched this class today. in this verse. You want to read?
Although these two young men are the sons of the very rich Kuvera, and I have nothing to do with them, Devasi Narada is my very dear and affectionate devotee, and therefore, because he wanted me to come face to face with them, I must do so for their deliverance.
To the point here,
Yes.
he said, I've got nothing to do with these two.
Mhm.
I have no business. But because my pure devotee said, therefore I am doing it.
Yes.
You follow?
Yes.
That's why Krishna is called Bhakta Vatsala, no? Yes. So Prabhupada has said, you chant 16 rounds and follow this principle, you go back home, back to Godhead. Correct?
Yes.
So because Prabhupada has said, Krishna is obligated to
Mm.
grant his mercy on that ground.
Yes, Prabhu.
Well, he got nothing to do with you and me, what? Maybe with you, lah, but nothing to do with me for sure. Correct? So, because Prabhupada has said, all right, I will do it. So therefore, our whole life now here is trying to please Srila Prabhupada.
Yes.
Understand? Let's read the purport.
Nala Kuvera and Manigriva actually had nothing to do with devotional service or seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face, for this is not an ordinary opportunity. It is not that because one is very rich or learned or was in an aristocratic family, one will be able to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face. This is impossible. But in this case, because Narada Muni desired that Nalakuvera and Manigriva see Vasudeva face to face, the Supreme Personality of Godhead wanted to fulfill the words of his very dear devotee Narada Muni. If one seeks the favor of a devotee instead of directly asking favors from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one is very easily successful. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakura has therefore recommended Vaishnava Thakura Tomara Kukura Baliya Janaha More Krishna se Tomara Krishna Dite Para. One should desire to become like a dog, instinctively following a devotee. Krishna is in the hand of a devotee. Adurlabham Atma Bhaktau. Thus, without the favor of a devotee, one cannot directly approach Krishna. What to speak of engaging in his service? Narottama Das Thakura therefore sings Chhadiya Vaishnava Seva Nistara Payeche Keba. Unless one becomes a servant of a pure devotee, one cannot be delivered from the material condition of life. In our Gaudiya Vaishnava society, following in the footsteps of Rupa Goswami, our first business is to seek shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. Ado Guru Asrayaha.
You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Huh? So then Krishna went and then he delivered the two sons.
Hmm.
Huh? Then he said, I've got no business. Understand? Similarly, he has no business with us one. I mean, of course, Nalagua, Manigruva, they're more greater personalities, at least greater than me for sure. Right? You follow this point? Huh? You understand?
Yeah, Prabhu. They have nothing to do with devotional service or seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face. That is the key point here.
So our only hope is the mercy of our spiritual master, Prabhupada. You understand?
Hmm.
And he become pleased when we follow the principles and chant 16 rounds without fail.
Yes.
Because you had to also attend Mangala Aarti and so many other things,
Yes, sure.
reading the books and. So if we do this very strictly, then I don't see any problem. Yes, but if I don't do,
Hmm.
then what to say? Correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
So this is how we become strong in devotional service. Otherwise, very difficult. Very difficult to come out of this cycle of birth and death. It is not a cheap thing, no? Yes?
Yes, Prabhu.
Without Guru, it's not possible. Correct? Any other questions? Everybody is quiet. There means no more questions. Huh? Anything in the chat, or there's something in the chat? It's in Hindi. What is this? What language is this? What are you writing? What is it written here? Anyone can read the chat?
Yeah, I can read, Prabhu. Sri Krishna Kamal Bhadraksham Divya Abharan Bhusitam Tribhangi Lalitakaram Ati Sundar Mohanam Bhagam Dakshinam Purusam Anya Stri Rupinam Tada Sanga Chakram Sanju Puspa Banam Cha Pankajam. Some sloka. Itchi Sabam Venu Vadyam Cha Daryantam Bhujastakai Sweta Gandhanu Liptang Puspa Vastra Tragujwalam Sarva Kamartha Siddhartham Mohanam Sri Krishna Masraye. Some sloka. I think.
What is the meaning of this?
I don't know, Prabhu. Ayappa Prabhu has posted it.
Maybe you can translate it.
Sri Krishna Kamal Bhadraksham. I think is the Kamal means lotus, and Bhadraksham. I also don't know deep Hindi, Prabhu. I also, that's,
It's in the translate line.
Divya Arambhanam. Abharan Bhusitam.
Param means all the
Abharan.
ornament. Bhusita means wearing, you know.
Bhusitam means ornament. Yeah. Wearing ornaments. Yeah. Tribhangi Lalitakaram. Tribhangi.
Krishna is three.
This verse. So, okay, I guess we have explained at length. If there's no more questions,
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
I guess I have to
Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Can
you
you hear me,
know,
Prabhu?
ask for your mercy.
Hare Krishna, you can hear me, Prabhu?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Prabhu, that when Yashoda Maya is, was bewildered by Krishna when he was showing the universe in his mouth. So, is it Yogamaya or Mahamaya, Prabhu? Is it actually Yogamaya is acting as Mahamaya? I mean, I'm not asking is Yogamaya or Mahamaya. I'm asking that whether Yogamaya is acting like a Mahamaya or Yogamaya is acting like Yogamaya only.
You know, when the living entity is in the spiritual platform, it only yoga maya. Mahatmanastu mampartha devim prakritim, you know, viviga prakritim is yoga maya. You understand? Huh?
Yes,
So
Prabhu. Yes, I mean,
the maya, there's only one maya, yoga maya. But
okay.
he wants to, the living entity wants to get into forgetting Krishna, then that yoga maya acts as Mahamaya. That's all.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Hmm?
Yes.
If it is the material world, then it is the Maya. You follow? But
Yes, Prabhu. Actually, my question is, I understand that Mahamaya cannot come near Yashoda Maya, but Yogamaya, Mahamaya's propensity is to make us forget Krishna, right? In that case, Krishna made Yashoda forget him, his opulence. So, can we say that Yogamaya acted like Mahamaya for Yashoda Maya?
no. There's no Maya in the what lives of the pure devotees.
Okay.
Devotees are always protected under the Yoga Maya platform. Yoga Maya Samam Taha. You understand?
Okay. Yes.
Always with the you follow, and if you have to forget, Yoga Maya also makes forgetting. You understand?
Yes, Prabhu. Mm-hmm.
Cannot touch the pure devotee, You can say here, the Mahamaya cannot touch the devotee.
Mm.
So Maya, just like Krishna, Maya cannot go to Krishna, correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
Similarly, Maya cannot influence the pure devotee.
Okay. Okay, Prabhu. Clear. Thanks, Prabhu.
All right. Anyway,
Prabhu, another
please.
question, Prabhu. One more
Yeah.
question. Is it all right to in the morning we are singing the bhajans and kirtan, right? I mean, Vaishnava bhajans of
Mm.
various acharyas, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Narottam Das Thakur. Is it also all right to chant the prayers by pure devotees like Purandara Dasa or Annamacharya? Is it also all right, or
So long as they are pure devotees, word, there's no objection.
yeah? Because they are actually belonging to another sampradaya, but they are not of songs. They are glorifying Krishna. Annamacharya was spending his time always in Tirupati. He was always glorifying the Lord. Whole life is dedicated. So likewise, Acharya Bhadra Sampradaya, pure devotees, can we sing the song in the morning? That's a question.
I don't see any problem. As long as they are pure devotees, right?
Okay, Prabhu. Okay. Thanks, Prabhu.
But mostly their songs are on the platform awe and veneration, no?
No, but
Okay?
not always, Prabhu. Like there are so many songs in the conjugal love also. The parental love, Vatsalya Rasa. May not be in the Madhurya, but a lot of songs in the parentalhood.
As long as it's coming from a pure authorized devotee, I don't see any problem.
Okay, Prabhu. Thanks,
Yeah?
Prabhu. Okay.
So many pure devotees, correct?
Yes. Yes, Prabhu.
In India, different pure devotees, no?
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Krishna Prabhu.
No?
Question, Prabhu.
Hmm.
Like this, what Prahlad was asking, few what these things we can do. In the sense, Ramaraksha Sutram is authorized to be heard or sung by us.
What's that again, the question?
Ramaraksha Stotram.
Rama?
Ramaraksha Stotram.
Rama Rat.
Generally, it is yes, Prabhu.
What is in the Sotra?
It is about how we will get purification and how we get perfection by remembering Rama and his devotee.
Hmm. So you can chant the Sahamudha.
Just forgetting.
What is that?
Yes, Prabhu.
Nobody is saying you cannot chant anything from a pure devotee. Make sure that it is authorized, that's all,
Yes, Prabhu.
We have so many prayers, right? Given the pure devotee, then there is no objection.
Yes, Prabhu.
But this is something given by our spiritual master. No?
But it is better to read all those prayers by Devahuti or Arjuna or Dev Goswami prayers, Maharaj prayers, Prahlad Maharaj prayers. This is all in Srimad Bhagavatam. So can we
Just have to follow what Prabhupada has given you. Nobody says you cannot read the prayers of Prahlad Maharaj or, you know, that Gajendra, so many things are there, no? Correct? You read them, and get to realize them, hum, they're in the Bhagavatam. Yes?
yes, Prabhu.
The idea is to hear the Bhagavatam, no? Correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhupada said whenever he was in difficulty, he will chant the prayers of Queen Kunti, that gives him a lot of strength. No, but I must be attracted, no, we must be attracted to this, the quality of trying to get attracted to Krishna's name, form, pastime. Very exalted quality, you know. That's why I explained just now, right? How, unless you associate with pure devotee, you cannot develop consciousness, no? So, Guru is very important concept as well. Yes? Anything else? Yeah?
Nothing from my side, Prabhu. Thank you so much for your time. Anybody has any other question?
Thank you all for giving me a chance to serve all of you.
Thank you very much for your kind time, Prabhu. It's very much enlightening.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
So I hope to see you again next week. No? So you can record this class. Who is recording it? You can share, no?
Yes, Prabhu, I will share today.
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna,
All
Prabhu.
right.
Dandar pranams. All good to Srila
Hare
Prabhupada.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, Prabhu.